Glad you stopped by to hang out with the Game Shark. Because today, gotta show you something kind of special. At least to me, anyway. For several years now, I've had one goal with my collection here. And that is to have every Legend of Zelda game complete in box in its original release. No remakes or re-releases. Those are cool, I have a lot of those. But I wanted, especially the early ones, to have all of them complete in box. One of the versions that you could have bought on day one. Of course, as you get on down the line, you get collector's editions and the regular editions and this and that. For me, as long as it's one of those, that's all I'm looking for. I do have some collector's editions, we'll get into that. And again, a lot of the remakes, like I said, I don't have all of the remakes. I'm missing a few, and that's all right. If I don't get them, I'm happy with what I got. I accomplished my goal here. So I'm going to show you my entire Zelda collection here today and highlight all the original releases, and I'll show you any remakes or whatever I got for them. So of course that means we got to start at the beginning. The Legend of Zelda. Love this one. My wife got me this for Christmas one year. It's been a few years ago now. And when I got this copy, that's what made me realize, man, I only need just a few more and I'll have all of them in the original releases. I needed some of the early ones because from Ocarina of Time up, I bought all those myself with my own money. And I still have all of them. I kept them all somehow. Got lucky. But let's take a look at this one. So you have the gold box with the hole in it so you can see the iconic gold cartridge. Everybody knows what these are. You see these on the shelf, you know. Decent manual came with it. But then later, my buddy Dad Racer ran across the tips and strategies insert that came with it. He already had one for his copy, and he picked this one up anyway, thinking that somebody would probably need it, and of course that somebody would be me. So thank you, Dad Racer. So next in line, of course, is Zelda 2, The Adventures of Link. I know a lot of people are a little hard on this one. I like it for nostalgia. I think the game's fun. I have a different way of playing it. I'll try to build my character up really early and be way ahead on levels wherever you're trying to go. I take the time and stop and fight the enemies. Adds more gameplay, makes it a lot easier. I got this copy in a trade with 123 Gamer Man, my buddy Ryan. It's part of a big trade we done a while back. I don't think he really wanted to trade it, but I made him an offer he couldn't refuse. So of course there was a re-release for the NES on this, a different box that didn't have the opening here, the gray cartridge. I don't have that one. That's cool. It would be nice to have it. They kind of look cool, but if I don't ever get it, I'm fine. I got that one. And it was re-released on the Game Boy Advance. I don't have that one either, and that's fine. But I do have the re-release on the Game Boy Advance in Japan. Ain't that cute? This is real cool. This was a gift from my buddy Josh Moore over at Play More Games. And a lot of really cool people and my friends on the YouTube community here have either gifted or traded me something to add to the Zelda collection. They were trying to beef it up for me, and I really appreciate that. So thank you again there, Josh. So let's take a look at these. So again, we have the classic gold box with the hole to see the gold game and the manual. Now, to my knowledge, this did not come with anything extra like the first one did. If I'm wrong, let me know. But I assume that is because they wanted you to buy this. But again, glad to have that one in the collection. Now let's jump over here and look at the re-release for the Game Boy Advance in Japan. Look at all this. Look at these colorful inserts that came with it. Two-sided. Now obviously I can't read this in Japanese. I do not know if the American versions on the Game Boy Advance would have come with this or not. I do not know. But check out this box. You got a box within a box, and then a box within a box within a box with the game in it. It's like little nesting dolls. Very cool, very cool. So of course, up next is one of my all-time favorites, The Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past. Yeah, this is good stuff right here. So I remember before this was released, if you'll look on one of the original Super Nintendo console boxes, it give a preview on the side or the back or somewhere of some of the games coming, and there was a picture of this game, and it said underneath it, Zelda 3. Not Link to the Past. So for a long time back then, I know myself and my friends, we called this Zelda 3, A Link to the Past. And sometimes I still catch myself calling it Zelda 3. Although the only time it was ever called that was on that preview of the, I guess in some Nintendo Powers they might have said that too, but on the side of the Super Nintendo box it called it Zelda 3. But again, this is one of my favorites of all time. My wife got me this copy for my birthday a few years ago. Really nice copy, it's got everything in it. So of course there was a re-release to the Super Nintendo for that, the Player Select, Nintendo Selects, whatever they called it. And then it was re-released to the Game Boy Advance. And this one has that extra Four Swords game with it, the two-player where if you link the two Game Boys together, you can compete against each other. It's okay. And they redone some things. They made it easier on the main game, on Link to the Past. They changed up the ice dungeon a little bit. That one is pretty hard. But I went out and got this, of course, right away for the Game Boy Advance. Why would I not want to play Link to the Past on the go? And I also have a copy of the Japanese version, the Super Famicom Link to the Past. This was a gift also from Josh Moore at Play More Games. 2 different times from the other one. So thank you again, buddy. One of the coolest people on YouTube. So let's take a quick closer look at all of these. So you have the classic gold box, the sleeve. Now me personally, I feel like you gotta have this for it all to be complete. You don't want your game rattling around in the box, and they all come with this, and the little dust sleeve. This one had a really nice manual. Mine's got a little crease there. Not perfect, but it's all right. Yeah, this was a really nice manual back in the day. And it came with the overworld map. Big poster here. Two-sided. Gives you the map of the first 2 dungeons, some hints. And this insert here would have come with it, the top secrets. Yeah, some decent stuff came with that one back in the day. Now, for the Japanese version here, I'm not sure. I've never looked into what came with it. I would imagine something very similar to all this would have come with it. But right now I just have these. It was a gift, very much appreciated. And it's really cool. Glad to have that. And I have played through this. I have my Super Nintendo modded, clip the things out where you could play it. And I've been able to play through this one because I know it well enough. I don't have to read anything. And the Game Boy Advance release, the Nintendo Power advertisement, the Game Boy book. Another nice little manual this time. Yeah. No good pictures? Okay, not as good as the other one. Love these little games like that. So next up is our first handheld game in the franchise. Of course, released to the OG Game Boy, Legend of Zelda, Link's Awakening. I'm a big fan of this. This is the reason I got a Game Boy back in the day. I think I was 14 or 15. A lot of my friends had Game Boys. We played them on the bus in the evenings, on the way home, or to school in the morning. But I never had one. For whatever reason, didn't feel like I needed one. Until they said they were making a Zelda game. And then, well, I gotta have a Game Boy. I think I talked my dad into getting me one that Christmas. They were having a sale on them. They had already come down a lot. I don't remember what they were, but I got one, got this game. I know I had Tetris. Not really much else. I just wanted to play the Zelda game. And you know what? It was worth it. I still can't believe they got a game this good and this big on the original Game Boy. So of course, this game was remade to the Game Boy Color. Now, I don't have the box for that. I have a loose copy of Link's Awakening DX, but not the box. And I don't feel like I need it. This is a remake. But if I'm being honest, if there's one I feel like I would want to get next to go with it in the collection, it'd be the box for this one. But I'm good without it right now. But I also have, complete in the box, Link's Awakening DX from Japan. One of these little small boxes, really cool. Love the artwork on the front there. I got this in a lot off of eBay. Got a whole stack of Japanese games for Game Boy, Game Boy Color. I have no idea what the rest of them even are. I just wanted this one. So this is really cool. And then of course later, this game would be remade again in 3D to the Switch. And this is really cool. I love how they did this. I love that they did this. I've said it before, this game is so good, they've remade it twice. Again, this is really cool. If you haven't played this, this is probably the way to play it as opposed to the older versions. It's the same thing, just better. But as usual, nothing on the inside of the new games. Bummer. So let's take a quick look at all these. So I got lucky and got a really, really nice, crisp, clean copy of everything here. A little shell here, gotta have that. No games bouncing around. Really lucky to get this one. Again, to my knowledge, there's nothing else that would have come with this, I don't think. If I'm wrong, let me know. But of course, you get over here to the Game Boy Color re-release of the DX version in Japan, you get all kinds of colorful stuff. Cool box, smaller shell, a more colorful manual here. Some kind of registration card. The pocket camera. The pocket printer. Huh. It's like an advertisement. Looks like an advertisement for Ocarina of Time. So up next, we jump over to the N64 with a game that many would consider among the best in the franchise. And you know what? I'm not going to argue with you. This is great. Of course, it's Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time. And I have here the collector's edition. And this is the first one, or the first Legend of Zelda game, I guess you could say, that I bought as a young adult with my own money. I went and reserved this at EB Games, Electronics Boutique back in the day. Of course, they were been bought up by GameStop. But this come with a bunch of stuff, kind of a bag and poster, t-shirt, all that stuff. We'll look at it here in a second. Really great game here. I also have the re-release of the Master Quest to the GameCube. Master Quest is really fun. The map is flip-flop. They made it a lot harder. Really fun playthrough, especially on the GameCube. But then I also have, I think this is a bootleg somehow, some way. I'm not sure. But it's the Master Quest on an N64 cart. I don't remember them ever releasing that to the N64. I got this from Terry at Nostalgia Lane in a trade. I feel like somebody has taken this and just put it on a N64 cart, but that's really cool to be able to play it on what it was originally meant to play, because it seems like the N64 controller works a little better for this game than the GameCube controller does, if I remember correctly. But then I also have the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time 3D 2DS. Think about that for a minute. Ocarina of Time 3D on the 2DS. Whatever. Really cool little system here. Let's take a look at all this. So if you had pre-ordered this at EB Games, this is everything that would have come with it. It all come in this gold bag, the collector's edition box. Basically, if you look at this, they put a sticker on it. This whole cover here is just a reflective sticker. And it's embossed a little bit too. You can feel those grooves there. The gold cartridge, the manual, and these are like the stick-on tattoos. You would cut them out and get them wet and put them on your arm or something. I never did that, of course. Also come with this big poster and this t-shirt, which is for some reason faded really bad, even though I've never worn it or washed it. And this poster is also two-sided, really cool on that side. And then on this side, gives a lot of the characters. So just a loose copy there of the Master Quest on an N64 cart. Again, I'm not sure if that is legit. I feel like it's probably a bootleg of some sort that somebody has made, but it's still really cool. The Master Quest on the GameCube box, the disc, of course, every GameCube game comes with one of those. Manual and a special preview of the upcoming Wind Waker game. And then here is the Ocarina of Time 3D 2DS. Really cool. I got this at Walmart on Black Friday for $80. And now it's one of the most valuable Zelda items in the collection because I kept the box and everything. You know, the DS book. And there's the system itself. I'm not a fan of this analog stick here. It's very, very short. It barely sticks up above the system. I don't know, my thumb hurts after a while playing this, but it is what it is. Now, if I'm being honest, I have no idea what these are. So if anybody comes across this and sees this and knows what these are used for, let me know in the comments. As you can see, I've never opened them. I don't know what they are or what they do. So help me out here. And up next, of course, the sequel to Ocarina of Time on the N64, a direct sequel, one of the few, Majora's Mask. And I have, again, the collector's edition. This one did not come with nowhere near as much as Ocarina of Time. Really, nothing at all other than a different box, but that's okay. Glad to have the collector's edition and the gold cartridge. Now, I will be honest with you, not one of my favorite Zelda games. A lot of people love this, and that's awesome. I'm glad people like that time aspect of it. A lot of people really like it, a lot of people really don't. You're either one way or the other. I'm not saying it's a bad game. All I'm saying is it's not one of my favorite Zelda games. It's better than most everything else on the N64. Let's take a look at it. Here we go, just a classic box, manual and game, even for the collector's edition. Nothing real flashy, except for the gold cartridge, the lenticular label, pretty cool. I mean, who doesn't want a gold Zelda cartridge? You know, nothing like the last one, but I know a lot of that has to do with where I bought it from. And that's probably because they were still wanting you to buy Nintendo Power and or a complete strategy guide. I didn't have this back in the day. I picked it up somewhere along the line collecting. And the last time I played through this game a few years ago, I went into it with the intent of getting all the masks to get the Fierce Deity sword. I'd never done that before, and I did. I had to use a little help here to get all the masks. Some of them are kind of hard, but I enjoyed it, even though it's not one of my favorites. So up next, we have to talk about a pair of games for the Game Boy Color. And of course, it's the Oracle series. Oracle of Ages, Oracle of Seasons. Man, these are great. If you like the old school top-down style Zelda, these are a must play. And they're both pretty challenging. I think this one may be a little harder than this one. Maybe, but they both are very challenging and they will test your skills and your Zelda knowledge. The dungeons are really good. And the story's really good, and how you have to open each area, there's a lot to these. And then on top of that, the adventures are connected. Of course, you play one, you get a code, take it to the other one, and it makes things happen that wouldn't have happened had you not used that code. So you can play this one first, connect the thing to this one, and this game will turn out different. And then you can go back and play this one first, connect it to this one, and this game will turn out different. It's a big circle of madness. But there's a whole bunch of extra stuff you can get only by doing that. And then you can trade secrets back and forth. Yeah, you need a manual for all that. These are great. I really love both of these games. Let's take a quick look at them. Nothing real fancy here. Just your classic box, manual, and game for the pair. But again, these sleeves, you gotta have them. Oracle of Ages, Oracle of Seasons. So up next, we're jumping over to the GameCube. Love this system. Wish I had more games for it. Getting a little tough for that one. So, of course, we're talking about the Wind Waker. I'm a big fan of this. I know when this was released, a lot of people, well, I won't say a lot, there were some people that didn't care for the graphic style of it. I really didn't care. I thought it was cool. I liked the fighting style of it. And I thought it was really neat the way they done it. And I really enjoy this game. I've played through it several times. It's not one I go back to a lot because it is pretty long. It takes you a while to go back and forth across the ocean, which I think that's really fun. So of course there was a re-release for this on the Wii U, Wind Waker HD. They changed a few things, upgraded the graphics of course. You can use the Wind Waker thing easier. You get the supercell to travel across the water a whole lot faster. That's cool. They did change up the Triforce quest and made it a lot easier and faster. Can't say I like that, but hey, great game still nonetheless. Take a quick look at them here. So nice looking box art on this one, nice looking disc. I love the artwork on the manual there, very colorful. Little insert here that tells you about the Tingle Tuner with the Game Boy Advance, tells you how all that works. Of course, they're going to try to sell you Nintendo Power. And then for the remake on the Wii U, you get nothing. So don't think I was going to leave out the other Zelda game on the GameCube, The Legend of Zelda 4 Swords Adventure. Why is this not considered a mainline Zelda game? This is awesome. I love this. Yeah, I don't play like some of the rest, but they all have quirks. Everyone they've ever released tried to do something different and quirky. Look at Majora's Mask. So, again, I really like this, and I have here the big box edition. I see your big box envy. So this one was really cool. Came with the game, of course, and the adapter cable for the Game Boy Advance. So there are a few GameCube games where you can plug the Game Boy Advance in and extra stuff happens on it. This is one of them. When you go into the caves, it reverts or crosses over to the Game Boy Advance. And it's a little different. It adds extra stuff to it. So let's take a look at all of it real quick. And there is the big box. Game case and disc. GameCube manual. That manual. And of course, the Game Boy Advance connector cable. Just pops in on the top there. This end plugs into the GameCube in a controller slot, and off you go. I know there are a few games that use it, probably more than I'm aware of. I can think of Animal Crossing, this one, Wind Waker, and yeah, I don't know. I'm sure there's several more. Up next on the Game Boy Advance, we have The Legend of Zelda, The Minish Cap. I love this game. I don't know which one's better, this or the Oracle games or Link to the Past. Man, all of these are so good. I've heard people say this, they think this one is too short, or I don't know, this, that. I love it. It's one of my favorites. I've played through this one several times. Still had never found that last Kenstone piece, even though Dad Racer sent me one. I don't want to talk about it. And here we go. Classic box, manual, and game. With the sleeve, of course. Nice little manual with this one. There is the villain this time. You're not fighting Ganon, you're fighting this guy. However you say his name. And here's the one Kenstone piece you're going to need if you actually want to finish it 100%. Up next, we jump to the Wii with The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. Another 3D one, sort of realistic graphic style. If I'm being honest again here, not one of my personal favorite Zelda games. Again, it's a good game. I've enjoyed it. I've played through it a few times. But I don't know, it's very linear. The exploration factor is not there in the same aspect that it is in other Zelda games. But again, it's not a bad game. Just, it would be low on the list of my favorite Zelda games. And that's fine. Because it is really cool. The look of it, it has a scary look. There's a lot of really scary enemies and bosses and stuff in this one. But not one I go back to a lot. But that's okay. And this was also released backwards to the GameCube. I don't remember if these were released on the same day or not. I can't remember. But I mean, I feel like this is a Wii game because it had some of the motion controls a little bit, not like the next one would have. But I've picked this one up more recently, again from Terry at Nostalgia Lane. I think I got that Ocarina of Time Master Quest for the N64 and this one in the same trade. This one, because it's more rare and they didn't make as many, has a bit of a price tag on it. I was glad to get it in the collection before it gets any higher. I guess because they went backwards with it. But I've played through this version as well, and it's a little different. The controls, of course, are going to be different, but I felt like there was some different stuff in it. This one, on my first playthrough, I got stuck, found the only fatal flaw in the game. I paused it and saved it in a room that you can't do that in, the only place in the whole game. It made me mad, and I didn't play it for a while and come back to it. And yeah, it's the whole thing. I won't talk about that either. But then I also have Twilight Princess HD, the Amiibo bundle for the Wii U. Now this one, I've never opened it, still sealed. And at this point, I don't really plan to. I don't know if I should send it off and get it graded, because it would make it a lot more valuable, supposedly. I don't know. Still really cool to have on the shelf there. So we have box manual and game, the original registration card, GameCube game, box game manual. There could have been more of that. I did not buy that one new. I got that in. And the Amiibo bundle that is still sealed. You know, I have tried to use this in the box, just set the box down on the Wii U or the Switch, and it does not work in the box. Dang it. So up next, we jump over to the DS for a pair of games. First came Legend of Zelda, Phantom Hourglass. And this was very different, of course, because you lead Link around with the stylus. But you know what? I got used to it really quick and still felt like I was playing a good Zelda game. And you're back out on the ocean, kind of like Wind Waker. I enjoy this. I thought it was really cool. I've not went back and played it a whole lot. I think maybe 3 times I've played through it. Go back to the main file trying to get everything like I do on all the Zelda games. That's how I play them. And then later, there was another one released, Legend of Zelda, Spirit Tracks. So I like the other one better. This is good. It's just a little odd to me, still. Riding around on a train through Hyrule. Okay, you know what? It's a good game. I enjoyed it. I don't know that I've been back and replayed this. I played through it the first time, and honestly, I don't think I've been back to it. But I will someday. And I also have the Japanese version of Phantom Hourglass. Give you one guess where this come from. It was a gift from Josh Moore. Play more games, strikes again. Mr. Generosity. Thanks again, brother. So cool. I've not put this in and played it. I'm not sure that I would be able to. I know all the Game Boys are region free and I can play it. I can't read Japanese. I'm not sure. But to have this on the shelf and just say, hey, look, I've got the Japanese version of this. That's cool and I appreciate it. Take a look at them here real quick. Phantom Hourglass, box game manual, registration cards, advertisements, the usual stuff. Spirit Tracks, kind of the same, the usual stuff, another advertisement. And the Japanese version of Phantom Hourglass. So of course there were 2 Zelda games on the Wii. The second of course being The Legend of Zelda, Skyward Sword. Now, I'll say I like this one better than Twilight Princess. That's just me though. And I have the big box copy here. I got this first day, and this one also come with the gold controller. There's an extra disc in there with a symphony playing the music from it. I enjoy this mostly, although I feel like a fool doing all this, trying to play it. Man, you get in there fighting the boss, man, you get excited. I could do without all that, but it's still pretty fun. Of course, there's a remake for the Switch. I have not tried that yet. I always wondered, would they ever make a remake of this because of the motion controls? Like, how could they do that? Apparently they've done it. I've heard it's a little awkward to get used to on the Switch, but I haven't experienced it yet. I'm waiting to find a used copy somewhere. But yeah, got the original. That's all that matters. Let's take a quick look at what come with it here. So we have the big box, the clamshell box, the manual, and this is the gold remote that come with it, and it is a 1-to-1 remote. The 25th anniversary Zelda Symphony. There's the little book that came for that. Some Wii advertisements. Netflix. I remember having Netflix on the Wii. Gosh, that was a long time ago. And I don't even remember what the Nintendo Club is. So up next, we jump over to the 3DS with The Legend of Zelda, A Link Between Worlds. I love this. This is so good. Kind of a direct sequel to Link to the Past. On the same map, or at least in Hyrule. Very similar. Some things have changed. It's 50 years later, I think, in the timeline after Link to the Past, but I really like this. Great game. I've played through this one a few times already, and I really enjoy it. And this, of course, is the reason that I got a 3DS. Wait. No manual. And then again, on the 3DS, we got Triforce Heroes. And again, as with all 3DS games, no manual. Triforce Heroes. All right. This is a neat game with the stacking and using the different weapons. But to call this Legend of Zelda, that's a stretch for me. But anyway, there it is. Next, we jump to the Switch with what is possibly my all-time favorite, Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild. What a great game this is. Oh my goodness. I absolutely love this game. But this was also released to the Wii U. Now, me and my buddy Justin at the Game Room YouTube channel, my Aussie friend, we were having a discussion one day, or debate. Is this a Switch game or is it a Wii U game? Tell me in the comments. What do you think? I'm curious. Is it a Switch game or is it a Wii U game? Let's see, any of these come with manuals? Games don't come with anything cool anymore. Ain't nothing to look at. Nope, not a thing. I would be ashamed. Oh, but wait. I have the Explorers edition of Breath of the Wild for the Switch. This one does have some cool stuff to look at. So let's see it. So we have another big box clamshell game. So this one did come with a manual, or the Explorer's Guide. Love this picture. Kind of gives you the backstory here. And then it gets into the game and starts telling you all the different things you can do. It's kind of like an expanded manual. And it came with this really cool map of the overworld, and on the other side, the Great Plateau. And this is a really nice paper that they've used. Up next, the direct sequel on the Switch to Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom. Another absolutely amazing game. Man, the hours I've spent on these two games. And I love it. So again, you got nothing. Unless you got this one. I had to have this. The build up to this game was so epic. And when I saw this box, like, man, that is so cool. I got to get one of them. My cousin, who worked for Nintendo for a long time, helped me get one of these. So thankful for her for that. But I've never opened it. It's still sealed. And at this point, I don't think I will. I don't think. Never say never. I know there's a lot of cool stuff in here, but unfortunately, you're gonna have to find somebody else's video to see all that. There's a lot of great ones out there that shows all the cool stuff that comes in this, but we're gonna keep it tucked away here. And of course, the latest Legend of Zelda game. I'm not gonna throw greatest in there, but a fun game nonetheless. Legend of Zelda, Echoes of Wisdom. Replay as Zelda for the first time on a Nintendo system. We won't talk about those other ones. But you know what? It's played very different. Using the Echo thing, recreating all the enemies and stuff to get through the dungeons and all the puzzles. And you know what? I enjoyed it. I enjoyed this playthrough. Felt like a Zelda game, just with a different mechanic. And you can use the sword some, a limited amount, but once you get further in the game and get better at it and learn what echoes to use, it becomes a lot easier. But I enjoyed this. I've played through it once so far, haven't went back to it yet, been playing other stuff, but pretty good game. And this come out short notice. It was like all of a sudden we're like, oh, hey, we got a new Zelda game coming here in about, I don't know, a few weeks. Kind of how it felt. Oh, okay, thank you. Thanks, Nintendo, we appreciate that. Because I did enjoy it. But of course, new games, they don't come with nothing. That's all right, we got a new Zelda game. So let's take a look at some of the other Zelda games that don't fit in the main timeline with the Legend of Zelda series. Of course, it's stuff like Hyrule Warriors for the Wii U, and then Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity for the Switch. Now there is a remake of this on 3DS, but it's the same thing with the DLC, so I really don't need that, because I like these games. They're fun. I can see where some people might say they're a little monotonous, but it's fun. As you build your character up, your moveset gets bigger and broader, and I don't know, I thought they were fun to play through. I've only played through each one once, but you know what? I enjoyed it. How about Link's crossbow training? I loved this. I haven't played it in a while. I need to revisit this one because I know how much fun I had with it. And a couple of my friends had this as well, and we would compete against each other, which is always more fun. But yeah, this is a great game on the Wii. Really, really like this one. I have here the broadcast satellite Zelda from Japan. Both versions, 1 and 2, are on this, or map 1 and 2 it calls it. I've played through the first one, actually made it through that, figured it all out, and I just kept having to start over and go back and again through each day and figure out where I'm supposed to be, what I can get, so I have enough for the next day. It's pretty neat how this works. This was a gift from 123 Gamer Man in a trade. I think he threw it in, gosh, it's been a while back, we made a big trade and he threw this in with it. And I'd always heard about this, but had never been able to play it before. And then I have picked up a hack here, I guess you would call it. Legend of Zelda Parallel Worlds. And boy, let me tell you what, this is hard. Man, if you like Link to the Past and are looking for a challenge, look no further. Oh my goodness, I beat it. Whew. I only played through it once. I hadn't been able to build up enough courage to try it again because it's pretty tough, but very fulfilling if you can make your way through it. So I think that's all the games that I have, and I do have the animated series on DVD. And I've got some bits and bobs over there. I'm not one for collecting toys. I like the games. Some of the toys are cool. I've picked up a few little things here and there. I know there are a lot of books out there. Those are cool, but I don't feel like I need them to be complete or add to the shrine over here. I'm just all about the games. So thank you for stopping by to hang out with me for several minutes here today while I go through my Legend of Zelda collection. Pretty proud of this. Took me a while to get it all, to get those early ones in their original releases. Man, so glad to have it all. I don't really know what my collecting goal is now other than to have fun with all of it. And I do that all the time. So again, thanks for stopping by to hang out with me, and I'll see you next time.